join me in making this gorgeous fabric into a dress. I did originally want it to be a circle skirt. However, when I cut out my pattern, I realised that the fabric was actually not wide enough for the full circle skirt. So I ended up doing a little bit of Tetrising. I measured out my waist pattern pieces and then cut the skirt pattern pieces to match them so the seams will hopefully still line up. It means that it will still be a circle skirt, but it will be in four pieces rather than three. I made sure to add a seam allowance onto the skirt pattern pieces that I've cut in half, and then I just started cutting everything out. There is so many pieces to this dress that it took me quite a while, but I think it's going to look gorgeous. I didn't worry about trying to pattern match. The fabric's so bright and colourful and a little bit random that I don't think it's going to matter too much. I had to do the same with the skirt pattern pieces for the back as I did for the front, so hopefully that will all work out when I decide to sew it together. Then I pinned all of my notches for the princess seams on the front of my bodice, and I pinned everything together and just made sure it fit before I started sewing it all, but I think it's going to look so cute. I just sewed it with a 1 cm seam allowance and made sure that I cut all of the princess seams so that they laid flat. Then I overlocked my side seams and my waist. I'm not doing any lining for this project, so I want to make sure that none of my seams fray. Then I pinned and started sewing all of my skirt pieces together. I reconstructed the large front piece and the two back pieces because obviously I'd cut them up to make sure that they fit to create the circle skirt. I didn't sew the side seams because I want to add pockets, which is what I'm moving on to now. I did them in this gorgeous bright red because I thought it would go really well with the fabric. I overlocked everything, again, got to protect those seams. After that, I inserted the pockets. I did them as inseam pockets, so I sewed them flat and then top stitched them to make sure that they're completely hidden when I sew it all together. I then repeated this step for the rest of the pockets and sewed down the side seams, making sure to include them so they're all hidden away. I really like to take my time whenever I'm doing this so that the pockets lay flat and they feel nice and secure. I did add an invisible zip here, but I find them so frustrating, I barely took any videos of it. And this is where we are now. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I love the fit, and now I just need to add the straps, and I've got some rickrack